I don't know why I can't play the intro video anymore. Or what happened with that. That kind of sucks. But okay, hey, hello. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the stream. I know it's this ting in the bottom. This isn't a ting broadcast. I just, there we go. I had to move. You know what? Here, let's put this here instead for now. All right, so I got two goals today. One is do a couple free-for-alls. The other is have you guys help me decorate my Christmas tree. Please, please, pretty please. Before we get started, I already have a ball written up. Good to go here for Roy Kyle. First donation of the stream. Did it while we're offline. We're not offline, just getting started. $5 reduce, he says. By the way, listening, you try and sing this is half the fun. On the 5th day of solstice, a true fan gave to me 5 donations. 4 Cannon Rushes, 3 Proxy Racks, 2 Minute Ads, and a Tier 3 monthly sub. All right. You gotta cut that shit out. Thank you very much. I can't sing. And my voice is apparently a little bit worse for wear than I thought it was. I'm gonna hang you here for now so I don't forget about you. But okay, guys, let's talk about what's going on here. Trying to get a hold of players right now, but a couple are not available. Ugh. So let me just make this clear. First off, there is a stream delay. I don't think anybody here would cheat, but a free-for-all is more important than even a 1v1, I believe. So in the event that we are missing players for the main game, we're doing a warm-up game first, right? In the event we're still missing players for the main game, what's going to end up happening is I will be filling in their slots with either lucky viewers who would like to purchase a chance to fight against the best and represent somebody, or we'll just fill it with AIs. Honestly, just whatever's available. But to be clear, this is not just a free-for-all for funsies. This is a free-for-all for placement for the tournament Slay Them All. It's got $650 for prizing, maybe a little more down the road. But one thing I thought would be kind of cool is... let's see here. Sorry, I'm still trying to get a hold of people. One thing that's kind of cool, I got to give a shout out here to Wardy. Okay, so I think this is all we have for now. 1 minute, guys. Don't want to waste. Shout out to Wardy. I've been coordinating with Wardy because 2 of the players who are competing in this are also playing in his tournament. Clem, I don't know where Clem is. I'm actually going to try and reach out to him right now. But for Rainer and Soul, I've tried to coordinate with Wardy so that they should both be available to play the real free-for-all after the warm-up. But I'm trying to get a hold of Clem. I don't know where he is. Young Tyke. Anyways, the idea with the free-for-all warm-up game here is so I can explain to you guys, the viewers, the rules of this, but also at the same time let these guys just kind of, you know, warm up. It's a free-for-all. It's a very different setting than what they're usually used to. So that's about where we're at. But like I said, we're missing a couple of people. So we only have 4 at the moment. DNS, Bly, Goblin, Showtime. You're back. Just go. But reminder, I will be placing either viewers or AIs to represent players not present. Free-for-all. This free-for-all does not count for anything. Just me warming viewers up. The idea of a free-for-all and explaining the rules. Real one is next. Okay. I'm going to leave this without AIs for now. We'll just get into it. Everyone ready? We'll be using the same map. I actually like this one. I'll explain it in a moment, but let's just get into this first game of the day, guys. I don't know where Clem's at. Nurchio is a no-show, and the other 2 players that are missing are currently in Wardy's tournament and should be available by the time we're like live. Anyways, let's get into the game screen. Also, thank you again, Royal. I'll hang up your ornament after this game's done. But yeah, so we only have 4 people for now. That's fine. It's just a warm-up. I really, again, for, I guess, in a weird way, I'm doing this more for YouTube for once than I am for Twitch, because I don't expect there to be a lot of live players for this. So I'm switching into YouTube mode and saying, hello, YouTube audience. I hope you guys are doing really well. I know we don't do a lot of stuff catered to you, but today is going to be the exception. As we get into this, let me explain what the free-for-all is about, but after I introduce the players. So spawning here on the right side, in the lower side, we have the red Zerg Showtime, the blue Protoss Goblin, the purple Terran DNS, and the yellow Zerg Bly. I love that 2 of these guys are off racing for the free-for-all, which they are totally allowed to do. But there are some very important rules that will determine how this works. First off, seeding and placement for the main event is going to be determined off the free-for-all standings. First place will be against 8th place. Second place will be against 7th place, and so forth and so forth. So you can tactically decide who you want to eliminate in what order just to assure that you won't play them. But keep in mind, this free-for-all is more about who you don't want to play more than who you play, because it's a lot harder to control who you will play against, and it's a lot easier to control who you won't play against. But there are some rules. And if any of these players are found breaking the rules, we reserve the right to handle their placement however we see fit. Everyone focus Bly. I love it. So here are the rules, and they're pretty simple. First off, teaming up is allowed. 100%. There's no in-game ally option, so they can't truly ally up, but teaming is allowed. However, all communication must be done in-game in all chat. It's an honor system thing. We're asking these guys, I trust these guys not to break the rules. We're asking them to not be on Discord. We're asking them to not be using whispers. You must communicate everything in all chat. So if you are teaming up with somebody, it needs to be obvious to everybody else. That's kind of part of that rule and the idea behind it. Again, this is a very important rule, and if anyone's found cheating or there's proof of it, blah, 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 we can take action accordingly. But I don't think it'll be a problem. But the really big emphasis is it also adds some entertainment for you guys who get to watch the chaos that is this chat. The other rule that's a pretty big one, and this was kind of confusing for some people, you may not leave the game unless you're fully, like all buildings killed, eliminated. You may tactically attack your own structures, but you may not eliminate yourself. The reasoning for this is that while you're fighting each other to kill and create seeding for the tournament, you're also fighting for survival and the right to pick your own seeding. If you fail to do so, your position in the tournament may be up to the others to decide. And this is what I'm talking about, where it's not about you necessarily picking your place in the bracket, like, oh, I see Bly finish 7th, well, I'm going to plan to finish 2nd, because there's a chance that may not happen. And in the event that we hit a stalemate where players don't want to kill each other, they don't want to give the other guy a seeding advantage, and it ends up being a little stalematey, which, by the way, to date has never happened in any of our free-for-alls yet. We have a hard timer on the game. For this free-for-all warm-up, it's 30 minutes. For the real one, is going to be 45. But the point is, at that point, anyone left alive will have their seeding determined by the end-game scorecard. So they'll get a little interesting. I love the shit talk, by the way. So at the moment, like I said, we got these 4 guys ready and available. We should have Raynor and Soul for the real free-for-all. The only 2 people we are missing / questionably not having here are Nurchio and Clem. Now, I know Nurchio was already likely not going to be available for today. It's fine. He'd let me know ahead of time. But he also didn't let me know his fill-in. So if he doesn't let me know a fill-in by the time we get to the real one, my backup plan is to default it to an AI. However, if some lucky viewer wants to donate and represent Nurchio's spot in the free-for-all battle, I'm willing to allow that too. Same for Clem if he's not here. The idea is that this is seeding. There's no prize money attached to this. It's very intentional because I didn't want this to be overly competitive or petty, but I do think in the future having prize pools for these sort of seeding matches would be a great way to reward people who maybe intentionally take a bad seed to earn a couple of extra bucks. On that note, I have ideas for a big free-for-all tournament, but not the funding for it, and I guess we can go into that another time. At any rate, I think I missed it earlier. Guildland, thank you very much for the 13-month sub. Sorry, I'm just getting caught up. I was really just trying to get the show going today. Goblin demanding a truce, a DNS willing to say sure. Meanwhile, both Zerg are willing to roach Ravager all in. The 2 players. Of course, I don't think this is coordinated at all. I love this. Yeah, Showtime's going to destroy Goblin. Blythe's trying to destroy DNS. I think DNS should have enough to hold. The Banshee's going to be pretty good here. The Raven will seal the deal, but I don't know if Goblin can hold. There's some Queens brought with us too. 2 Void Rays at a time seems nice ideally, but this is going to be a little bit awkward. He does have extra pylons up, but I think both pylons could get sniped before the Void Rays are out. Oh no. And he's calling for help, but his ally can't help him. He's too busy holding off his own fight. And this is where free-for-alls get a little shitty. And I love it. But as things get a little chaotic, the question is, of course, what would this look like in terms of seating? Also, I'm just going to turn the game sounds up a smidge if that's too loud. Apologies, guys. But if this were a real match, and if this wasn't the warm-up game, and Goblin was eliminated first, he would have last seed in the tournament. Or in this case, what would be the group? Also, Megadog, thank you for the 10 months. But yeah, so Goblin would finish 4th place, meaning he would, like, assuming he dies here, he would play against whoever finishes 1st place. Although I don't think he's going to die here just yet, this cheeky little guy. He's got 1,500 minerals banked up and a couple of nexus going down in the corners of the map. I love it. Actually, I'm a little surprised nobody's playing macro, really. Actually, funny enough, the one guy who is playing quote-unquote macro is Bly, of all people. It's got 3 bases. Meanwhile, Goblin, yeah, he's going to be holding on for dear life as he builds additional nexus all over the place. Tries to take another base over here. It's a little bit closer to Bly, which is, of course, dangerous, but maybe the idea is that he's hiding in plain sight. I don't know. Either way, Goblin's main base has been eradicated. Sad story about this Void Rays, too. If those would come out, that's going to look a little bit different for him. If you guys recall back to the BTSL Season 2 free-for-all, the one we used for the round of 8, one of the coolest games we got actually had Dark competing in it, and it was Dark versus 3 other Terrans. Dark took this middle base, which, by the way, you cannot walk to. You have to drop or Night Storm to. He took this middle base, super fortified it up with Queens and Spore Crawlers and what have you, and 3 Terran players going battle cruisers took like 10 minutes to kill him. It was amazing. Updogs, Hydras, Spore Crawlers. It was stupid. It was great. And I love that that's the sort of situation getting these free-for-alls. Another callback would be back to the Season 1 BTSO free-for-all. The one with Hero fighting against 4 people, I think it was, and holding on for like 10 minutes against 4 people. 4v1. One of the best Protoss players ever. It was so sick to watch. Kind of a cool attack happens here. I like the use of the anti-armor. Kind of just melted the units that are painted orange, but unfortunately also losing a lot of his own units in the process. Banshee continues to be a nuisance. Again, the reminder here is that none of these guys can share vision. None of them can actually ally, so nobody actually knows what exactly is going on, except for DNS. Adrian! But yeah, the beauty of this, like I said, is if this does go on, there is a hard timer cap. 30 minutes is where we'll cut it off. It's sudden death. Whoever is left alive at that point will have placements determined entirely just based on the scorecard at the end of the game. And that scorecard at the end of the game can be influenced by a lot of different things. Units you've killed, units you've created, minerals you've mined, etc. Well, units decide to try and swoop in. Maybe grab a drone or 2. It's actually kind of funny seeing Showtime be so good at Zerg. I guess I'm so used to him being so good at Protoss. You kind of forget that he's probably good at everything else in this game too. But that hidden base at the top left about to be discovered by Bly. Oh, we already knew about it. Woo! So if this was a real game riff, the real deal, yes. Correct. If you left, you'd not be in control of your seed. Yes, if you are at the point waiting to die, go ahead. So, again, I really want to stress this point and why this is a big deal for Goblin. And this is actually a great question he's asked here. The reason he can't leave is because it would artificially put him in 4th place. However, maybe each of the 3 other players in this game don't want Goblin to have the 4th place seed. So the idea is that Goblin will eventually die for sure, but he won't be in control of where his seed is. And that's the part of it. Like, this is why you have to play this free-for-all with allies and tactics, because, again, you're not fighting for your placement nearly as much as it is everyone else's around you. So for Goblin, he's in control of neither, unfortunately. Someone from chat wants to know if it's viable for Terran to take the middle with a lift off as the second base. Oh, totally. You can just float over to the center of the map, but it's dangerous because things like Mutas and Banshees will be flying around and you've got no way to reinforce this. So it's a base that looks good at a glance. I don't think it's one that is always going to be the best one to take. DNS, wow, you are in some trouble, friend. Anti-armor does not do damage. Does he know this? It will, of course, remove the armor from the Mutalisks still, nonetheless, but it doesn't deal any actual damage. He does paint every Mutalisk orange. That Liberator is suddenly going to do some good damage. Widowmine gets a great shot, too, but the Widowmine's magic, and he keeps throwing out anti-armor. I don't believe DNS knows that anti-armor missile does no damage. I don't think DNS knows the patch changes to the Raven. The Liberators, though, I was not joking. Their splash damage is amplified by that -3 armor. If you guys don't know how it works in StarCraft 2, obviously armor reduces damage, but negative armor actually amplifies damage. So if you are missing 2 armor, you are taking 2 additional damage from all sources anytime you attack. So suddenly those Liberators, which have fairly weak splash air damage, can do a lot. Their units are so trash. Isn't not in control better than last? So that's where the question gets debated, because when you're the first person out, you're just kind of waiting a while to see who ends up in first place, who will be your eventual opponent. It's a lot better to be the guy in first place, deciding whether you want to quote-unquote die / give up early and take second seed versus taking first seed. Because let's say there's Koreans in this, right? Let's say it's frigging Innovation gets knocked out first in 8th place. Then likely you don't want to be the guy who wins first place because you'll have to fight against Innovation, right? Now, obviously that's not happening here. This is a European-only tournament. There's no cross-server, but it's just an example of like how things can get scary. Like, again, back in the BTSL Season 1 free-for-all, you had Hero eliminated first, meaning whoever won that free-for-all battle was going to have to go up against Hero in the round of 8, which is a terrifying fate to be tasked with. Oh man, 37 and 39 Mutas. What happened that made Mutalisk great again? This is a very serious question. 35 kills. Wait, does he have a Banshee with 35 kills? Oh, she must have died. Well, as far as the unit count goes, it's going a little bit better for Showtime, but then Spore Crawlers get involved and he has to back away. Blinding up 1 Mutalisk is actually more than enough to take a fight. Showtime's starting to have to walk away from this, but at the same time, he's bleeding out workers on the other side of the field. Also, fun fact, if you guys don't know about the name of this map, you should read it backwards. I always thought this was just like such a stupid name for a map, and then someone pointed that out to me. Mega Dog, by the way. I don't know if I got that earlier. Thanks again for the 10 months. Sorry, I just saw it in Twitch chat. Maybe I did it out of habit. I don't know. I'm waking up too, guys. But the question is, and this is directed to the dear YouTube audience, I know you guys get a lot of our regular 1v1 uploads, and it's usually just like a past broadcast, but what do you guys think of the free-for-all battles? You know, a lot of the time it's very easy for me to get feedback in Twitch chat, because people are very, you know, they're here, they're live, they're saying, I like this, I don't like this. But for YouTube, a lot of you guys just comment on, you know, this, that, and the other. I'm really genuinely curious, dear YouTuber watching this at a later date, do you want to see more free-for-all battles? Do you want to see things like 2v2s? Or are you happier in enjoying just the standard 1v1s? I like shaking it up personally, but of course, feedback is always helpful. Transfuse goes in that hatchery, trying to keep it alive. You just give chase once again. I don't know what's really going on with DNS. He's just kind of there. He's just kind of here in the game. This has really become down to a battle of Bly versus Showtime. Spore Crawlers are in a really nice position around this hive, but it's still so low. It's still so low on HP. Dive's on in, though. 24 Mutas to 17. This won't go well for Showtime unless you can get Bly to fight him in range of the Spore Crawlers. The Spore Crawlers, of course, do a lot of bonus damage to biological. Liberator denying Goblin's attempt to get back in the game. I thought Goblin gave up. I didn't even realize he was building probes still. So much for that camaraderie they had planned out early on. 11 more mutants out of Bly. I think it's safe to say Bly is going to win this game. So here's the question and the problem, right? Well, actually, Showtime's got more supply, though. This is so weird. Okay, let's get into hypotheticals for a moment, though, guys. Just a brief moment of hypotheticals. Let's say Showtime wins this. The beauty for Showtime is once you're in a position of power in a free-for-all, it's pretty obvious. Like, not a lot of people are going to have maxed out armies. Showtime is pretty much maxed out. Once you know you're in control of the game, you can pick your opponent. Like, if you really wanted an easy player to face off against in his group, I'd say just go just hunt down Goblin. Forget this fight with Bly, which, by the way, is still not going too badly. But the thing is, if he does continue this fight with Bly, and he eliminates Bly, and then still wins the free-for-all battle, well, then it's Showtime versus Bly in the main show. But I just gotta say, as a side note to this, I'm really impressed with Showtime's off race right now. Like, it's not just that he's playing Zerg and Herderd Zerg. Like, he's actually handling the nuances of Muta versus Muta very well. He's executing Ling Run buys. Like, I'm not trying to say it's hard to play Zerg or anything, or it's easy to play Zerg or anything like that, but it's just, you know, Showtime is so goddamn good at Protoss. You don't think that he's had any time to play these other races. Like, he must be playing Protoss, only Protoss 24/7 to be that good at it. But oh, it's been up a great show here. Goblin still trying to recover. Takes another base in the bottom left. Sneaky, sneaky. Things on the top side. Gonna help these roaches knock down a base, maybe. The mutas are still at home, though, so I don't know how much this will do. It's taken a long time to get there, and I don't think there's a lot of upgrades associated with it, but DNS does have a battlecruiser coming out. This is probably 17 minutes too late as far as his plans. I don't know what he really plans to do at this stage, but yikes. But of course, that reminder here, guys, with hopefully Sol and Raynor timing out their tournament with Wardy perfectly, we'll have 6 of the 8 players ready and available for the main show free-for-all. So again, I just want to really reiterate the rules, because I don't want to be talking about the rules a bunch once we're actually in the real free-for-all. So if you guys missed out earlier, you're not sure what's going on, again, the TLDR is teaming is allowed. These guys are totally allowed to make alliances. But what they're not allowed to do is communicate via Whispers or Discord or Skype. Like, all communication has to be done in-game. Nice split out of Bly. Oh, shit. All communication has to be done in-game. But, oh, my God, even without the parasitic bombs or with the parasitic bombs, it's a massacre! Showtime comes in here and just, like, lays it all out. Bly getting destroyed. Big donation coming from CPP Maniac. Thank you very much for that. Let me recover the rules, or finish the rules, and then we'll get back. I'll read that. But yeah, so team ups allowed, but they have to communicate in game, honor system, all the good stuff. I trust these guys not to cheat. And then the whole thing about not leaving the game is a pretty big deal. You can be close to eliminated. You can even attack your own buildings. The only rule is you cannot finish yourself off. Now, if you were to kill yourself all the way down to 1 pylon, hypothetically, you could wait for someone eagerly to finish that off for you, or try to tactically kill your own building so that your opponent would have to eliminate your last building. I don't know, like float a Terran CC into the Zerg army. Those things are acceptable, but leaving the game is not, because it's not as simple as just deciding, okay, I want 5th place. It's not as simple as just saying, I want 3rd place. You must fight for your right to have 3rd place. You must fight for your right to have 5th place, etc. But that was 25 bucks. Got some badass strolling into town music from that one too. Thank you very much, CPP Maniac. He says, happy holidays, Riff. Never stop doing what you're doing. Own it, enjoy it, listen to nobody, especially yourself. That reminds me of that stupid image of that kid. It's like holding a gun against his own head. It's like, trust nobody, not even yourself. I'll pick off another hatchery. Showtime's still very much in control of this game. He is taking some heat down to the south, and funny enough, his mass Mutalist Corruptor army should actually be equipped to deal with this. Banlings roll in. Oh, man! They get some great connections on the Marines. I can't even tell you what happened on the ground because it was just sprayed with green. Showtime not only cleans up DNS entirely, he has most of his army survive. What the actual fuck? I didn't even see those Marines. What were they, camouflaged? Okay, more Banlings coming in. Looks like the Hive goes down. A little annoying for Showtime. But man, he just crushed DNS. I guess DNS has no upgrades, in fairness. Goblin, who, by the way, has been on the sidelines waiting to be Mr. Nobody, please eliminate me, 4th place, has said, fuck it, I'm going for 5 carriers at a time and a mothership. That one's so sick. Is with the other 2 players going mass mutalisks. I guess there's a couple Vipers and Corruptors mixed in, but with the other players going for compositions that are not really that great to fight against carriers, Goblin might suddenly be the powerhouse in the matchup, guys. I don't know. Oh, but he's getting hit by run-bys with Bly being super annoying. Oh, not just Bly, but Liberators too. I'm friendly. Well, I'm not. Oh, these poor probes. There's nowhere to run. Oh my god, Liberator range. So I forgot they added a color upgrade for the Liberator range upgrade. So now you can tell, like, it's a big white hot blue laser instead of a red one when they have range. But I swear to god, that laser is like thick as fuck. That thing was super thick. And by the way, I can't even believe it. While this goes on, Shredder's been losing his war on the other side of the map. He's got no Mutalisks remaining, only a Hydralisk. Bly's still on 35 Mutalisks. But ooh, a run by. This might be able to bring Bly back home. In fact, it's gonna have to bring Bly back home. I can't believe that Goblin might just be the strongest player in this game. This is so dumb. One of the big things for Goblin that you guys might not be aware of for the carrier changes, if you're the more casual viewer, they no longer need the Graviton Catapult upgrade. The trade-off, though, is, well, that upgrade is no longer necessary. It does take, like, twice as long to rebuild Interceptors when they die. However, if he does this right, that shouldn't be a problem. Although, that's a lot of Liberators, and while they don't do much damage in anti-air mode, 5 damage times 2, it might be enough to kill the Interceptors, funnily enough. But oh my god, he just blew away all those. That took like 3 seconds to kill every probe. What the front door? Continued bling run bys. I mean, these Lings have +3 weapon upgrades. Showtime has not been slack in this game. His macro has been just on point. He's got the best upgrades out of any player in this game. But uh-oh. Scan goes down to see the carriers. Can he do it? He already said once Terran units are trash. He wouldn't be wrong to follow that up. But he's killing a lot of the Interceptors. Marines not getting into the fight. Carriers trying to walk away. Hello, a couple Zerglings to accidentally help. Yeah, look at these carriers. They're almost empty, and it takes 11 seconds to rebuild an Interceptor. Oh, God. Is this going to work? No way. Time Warp goes down. That's a brilliant move, actually. Time Warp slows the attack speed of units caught within it, but falls a little bit shy of being able to actually fight within the Time Warp. Tempest now out too. Tempest a lot faster, better. Bly hitting with some mutas. I don't even know if Bly's aware of what's been going on with Goblin while this goes on. This game's been happening, by the way. But funny enough, DNS actually has an amazing army to possibly tussle with Bly. Bly does have upgrades, which is a problem, but I mean, that's a splash damage is still splash damage at the end of the day. And I feel like 3 or 4 good Liberator volleys, and this army's dead. Dives in for the mothership. He catches Goblin before he's able to rebuild his Interceptors. Oh my god. It's a massacre. Both players losing out so much to this fight, but Bly is ultimately going to kill everything. Oh no, Goblin. He worked so hard for this. He tried to come back from so far away. Rest in peace. Well, we'll see if maybe he finally gets eliminated. We know he's kind of wanted to for some time now. That being said, I can't stop looking at the supplies of this game. I know it's different types of supply, like, but man, Showtime's been maxed out more frequently than anyone else in this game. Now he's even using Corruptors to piss on these buildings. This is hilarious. Uh-oh. A deal being brokered. I can help you kill him. He doesn't even have 2 cures. He's got a Tempest, right? Everyone equals Showtime. Yeah, pretty much at this point. But we're coming up on the hard cap. Actually, I should probably all chat reminder. Reminder, game ends in 5 minutes, no matter. So the way this works, which is a little awkward, even if there's units still able to fight, even if there's buildings in play, the game doesn't end manually, it ends automatically. There's a hard stop of 30 minutes. For the warm-up match, this will look a little bit more reflective, but it'll be 45 minutes in the main match. So the idea is that at that point, the game comes to an end, and we would base placements and score. Wow, those really, that does no fucking damage. Are you kidding me? I guess they have 2 upgrades. 4 armor versus 5 damage. They're literally doing 1 damage a shot to the Corruptors. Oh my god, that's so bad. Anyways, going back to the point here. As this will likely be a game that looks like it will end in a scorecard, it'll be a great way for me to highlight in that line for you guys how exactly that score card determines placements for these players. Oh, jeez. Poor DNS. I hope his plans are to play his main race for his own sake when it comes to the real match coming up next. I mean, Liberty's a great kill on the Hydras, no question about that. He just has no way to deal with the Corruptors. Even the missile turrets, just tickling the Corruptors, honestly. Yeah, see, he doesn't give a flying gosh darn. He just dives in, kills them, backs away. Fly in the meantime, causing some ruckus. Still sitting on a lot of mutas, 25. But the 21 Corruptors are a lot better, taking an air fight. Their incredible armor is just their greatest asset. Mutas hit for 11. It's like a missile turret shooting, frankly. I'll hit him whenever you tell me to. This double up effort as the Lings run by. They run into the Banelings. Oh, Showtime just accidentally got some of the sickest kills of his life. Like, to me, in my books, just at a glance of what's been going on in this game, I think if this goes to the scorecard, Showtime's probably got first place. He's mined more, he's killed more, he's built more, but at the same time, Bly's got so many expansions, so it's hard to tell which value is worth more, right? Is killing more units in the game worth more than mining the extra 2,000 minerals that Bly will likely mine? Only the scorecard will be able to tell us. It'll be really interesting to see what that looks like. But Goblin might actually be an eliminated here. Keep in mind, his buildings will be revealed in a few moments. 5 seconds to be precise. Then everyone on the map will be able to see what few buildings he has left. And if they would like to fully eliminate him, they will be able to. Easy peasy. But things got a little bit wet and wild here with just 4 players. I guess the call to action is there anyone out there who wants to be on a list to sub in for players who no-show for the main show? And if so, make your voice heard with a donation. Right now, I would give the spot up to CPP Maniac for those 25 bucks from earlier, but if anyone wants to like legitimately buy their way in to represent like Nurchio or Clem if they no-show for the actual one, make your voices heard. Otherwise, we'll just use AIs, which is fine too. Because the idea is that, like, whoever we're subbing in will likely not be someone who determines placements, but just has some fun playing with other pros while we determine the free-for-all. Maybe they'll be eliminated first. I don't know. Maybe they'll hold their own. I don't know. Good news is I've just received word from Clem. Is it just one free-for-all match? Pepe hands? No. So this is the warm-up game, which, by the way, DNS having been fully eliminated would put him in 4th place, 4th seed, meaning whoever won this free-for-all would be facing off against DNS, which is something a little bit scary to consider, but that's something great where somebody like Bly or Showtime says, you know what, I think you're winning, I'll let you, like, I'll quote-unquote let you win on the scoreboard. If it was me, I would just stop mining everything. I would be like, I don't want to play against DNS, yeah, and tactically lose, I guess you could say. Same time, though, these guys just might be more interested in winning. But yeah, things are tied up. We got 53 seconds to go. As far as what's coming up, guys, this was the warm-up. We have the real deal match coming up next. We have Clem. We should have Sol and Raynor, so we'll only be missing Nurchio by the looks of things. So I'm missing some action. I'm just trying to tell Clem where to go. But yep, 27 seconds to go. So Goblin, funny enough, will finish 3rd by the looks of it. And the question in this hypothetical group would be, in this world of what ifs, who fights who? I want to say, it's so tough to say. I want to say it'd be Showtime DNS and Bly versus Goblin by the looks of things. But there we go. There's the 4-stand. It looks like Bly probably won the game on the score screen just based off that victory. But we'll take a look here really quick before we go back to my caster cam. So we'll have to set things up, of course. And score summary. No, actually, it would have been Showtime. So ultimately, what we would have had for this bracket then would have been Showtime versus DNS and Bly versus Goblin. So hopefully it gives you guys an idea of how this works. However, this is not something we're doing for one group. This is something we're going to be doing for two. But all right, I got to go try and get a hold of people. As I said, I know Clem's online now, which is great. We may be missing Nurchio is the only one. We'll find out here in a moment. I am going to just hop to a break, though, so I don't have to worry about you guys looking at my face all awkwardly. Let me... Oh, before I do. It's up on the Christmas tree. All right, Kyle. It's almost Christmas, guys. My tree's so empty. Help me fill it. All right, be right back.
Look at the sky, the sun won't ask no one if it can rise. Look at your mind and ask yourself what keeps you trapped inside. Look at the lights that follow you when you run and hide. Look at the sky, the sun won't ask, the sun won't ask, the sun won't. The sun won't ask, 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 the sun won't ask. Sunlight begins to fade now, and I feel like I'm losing time, but I don't know how I'm here. The sunlight has turned to gray, and I feel like I'm losing love again. I don't know how I'm here. Feel your heartbeat. I could feel it somewhere you're looking down. I could feel your heartbeat. I could feel it somewhere you're looking down. 'Cause it's you I'm loving, and it's you that I wanna breathe, and it's you I'm loving. And I know now we're getting older. The world we built is slipping through our fingers.
All right. Thanks for watching that break screen there, guys. So I've just put the question in Twitch chat, but of course there's that stream delay. We are currently missing Nurchio, and we might actually be missing Rainer. So Rainer's still playing a match of Wardy's tournament. The idea, the way that Wardy and I had tried to coordinate this, at least, was we would have Rainer play all of his matches and Wardy stream ASAP. Then Rainer would be done and available for this. Unfortunately, Rainer's opponents are being a little bit fickle about him leaving and taking a break, which is okay, fine, whatever. So we have 2 spots potentially open here. I need 2 minutes. I'll re-explain, etc. 1 sec here. But yeah, if no one actually wants these spots, I'm just gonna put AIs in to represent them. And we'll go over the rules again for everybody here in a moment, because I have to go over it for the players too. Actually, okay, since it's been brought up, official rules equals English, all chat. Right now in the lobby, but no French. They're just trying to talk to each other in French like it's code. The idea is, like, with no Discord and no Skype and no calling, like no whispering, the rule of communication is any communication information should be available to all parties playing, not just 2 people, as whispering would do. So speaking to each other in French would be about the same deal. So we're gonna put the rule now officially just English only, because anything else is gonna cause problems. Anyways, as I've seen nobody else opt in, we're just gonna go with AIs, I think, then. Since nobody has opted in, we are just going to use AIs. Missing players. Okay. Reminder about the rules if you didn't message you. Rule number 1. Gaming up is allowed, but no whispers, Skype / Discord / calls. All communication must be in English. All chat. Rule number 2, cannot leave the game. It has to do with placements. If you leave, you will be forfeiting your right. We will place however fit. All right. Firelicious, thank you for the 18 months. We will use AIs to represent Go Trainer. Let's fill with AI. Zerg. I don't want to put him in cheater mode. Zerg. Okay. Purple AI equals Rainer. Dark gray AI equals. Game timer is on a hard stop of 45 minutes. Anyone alive? Be placed in seating based on score summary. Okay, I'll make Rainer. Okay. Okay. Rainer's the Terran AI. Nurchio's the Zerg AI. This should make it a little bit easier because the players are like, how do we decide to kill? Who do we kill? Etc. One ready? Like elite AIs. Hey, I can put a cheater mode, guys. Okay, Terran equals Rainer. Zerg equals Nurchio. I'll update the in-game overlay to say this. They're complaining about the AIs. Are you serious right now? Okay, I'm gonna assume they're good. I just gotta tell Rainer. Sadly, we are going without you. Good luck, dude. I'm a little sad we couldn't get Rainer in for this, but it is what it is. Let's get into the map. Here we go. Oh, this has been a headache and a half to set up, but it's short, it's sweet, and like I said, I knew this would be more for YouTube than it would be for Twitch because there's other stuff going on, and this is such a short once-off stream. But thank you for those of you who are watching live on Twitch. Appreciate you guys being here. Hope you guys are having a good day. I'm just gonna try and can I cheat this. Let me duplicate this. Put Nurchio's name over the Zerg AI. Put Rainer's after too. By copy, paste, Rainer. Okay. You know what? It doesn't look great, but it works. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Slay Them All Invitational Free-for-All Brawl. This one's going to determine seeding for the two different groups in this tournament. There is, of course, a lot to explain, but before I do, let's do these intros. To the bottom side of the map, we have the blue Zerg Showtime. He is actually playing Zerg. Next to him, we have the yellow Zerg Bly, the red Protoss DNS, the teal Protoss Goblin, the purple Zerg AI Elite, aka Nurchio's representative, the black Terran AI 7 Elite, aka Rainer's representative, and the orange Terran player. Oh, big brain plays its soul in the middle of the map with the orange Terran. And of course, last but not least, the green Terran player Clem. Oh, this is brilliant. So I was curious how we plan to do this because you can't bring all your SCVs with you. You can only bring a limited amount. But what he ended up doing is dropping off 5 and going up and picking up the rest. And he takes the gold base in the middle of the map, and he's gonna have the most income out of everybody. And I fucking love this big brain play. We'll see if this works out in terms of the actual game. But a couple things to note is pay attention to all chat, guys. I'm not going to be reading out every line they say, but it's going to be important. We put rules in place, so they must communicate in English, and they must communicate in all chat. So that way you guys, but also more importantly, every other player in the game has the same information. So nobody's allowed to be on a call, nobody's on the Discord, etc. It's all being communicated in front of you guys here live. Also, is Showtime the only one off racing, I suppose? He just showed a really great game in the warm-up, so that was kind of cool to see. But yeah, 45-minute hard timer on this one. So if this goes long, I hope it doesn't, but if it does go long, that's the cutoff. And this will be really exciting to see how this plays out. So as far as the seeding goes, just so everyone's aware, there's 2 different groups in Slay Them All for 8 players. And of course, through this tournament, we're going to have to figure out the seeding. So in typical seeding fashion, you have 1v8, 2v7, 3v6, 4v5. But we did split up the groups, so it wouldn't all just be in one, like, cluster. So to explain really quickly, with more emphasis... Hey, thank you very much for the sub, Iverson, 34 months. Group 1, which I've nicknamed Group Candy Cane, because I'm so bored of Group A and Group B, okay? So Group Candy Cane is going to have the 1st versus 8th player and the 3rd versus 6th player. Group Gingerbread, instead of Group B... Again, Christmas spirit, guys, is going to be the 2nd versus 7th player and the 4th versus 5th player. Now, each of these are going to play out actual group days. It's going to be a full group, by the way, best of fives, 5 best of fives. That's going to be happening on December 21st, December 22nd, and December 23rd. Most importantly, well, I know this is more for YouTube. For those who are watching on Twitch, our events tab at the top has been updated. Or if you guys are watching on YouTube, don't know what I'm talking about, go to twitch.tv/BaseTradeTV/events, and it will outline when and what we're casting. As well as what Soul was asking was a bit of sarcasm. I can't believe how much he's gotten away with. And more to the point, I don't believe anyone is scouted at all. No, except for the, funny enough, the elite AI is the only one who knows that nobody's at home in this base. Bailey's trying to break the ramp. Showtime holding with those roaches, though. Couple Bailey's starting to slip through. Makes a Ravager to block. I love it. I love it. Bly tries to get in. But Bly is like the master of ZVZ in these situations. And Showtime, well, if he picks off that Bailing, it's a little different. There we go. The Bailing does pop off. It's not good. It's not great. But Showtime actually has a pretty decent defense from that. The problem is, though, it does look like he's getting ganged up on quite a bit. Got Clem coming in here to try and finish him off. There's nothing left to fight with. He just had to hold off a really nasty all-in. This is where, by the way, you put your pride to the side of being the best player in Europe. You start begging, please don't kill me. But at this rate, if Showtime is fully eliminated, he will be the 8th seed player. And Showtime, for those who are unaware, oh, big Bailey into the mineral lines. Showtime is, in my honest opinion, probably one of the best players we have in all of the 8 that we've invited. So this actually makes a very deadly opponent to have, not only in your group, but as your first opponent. Whoever wins this free-for-all is actually possibly going to end up losing in the main show if Showtime's eliminated first, which is a really weird thing to consider. In the meantime, in the middle of the map, it's battlecruisers, baby. Double armory, double star parts, Yamato cannon. Soul's just gonna turtle up and go for like the biggest, most badass army he can. And I love every little bit of this because it's totally unscouted. DNS has no idea. Goblin confirming has no idea. Bly, an overlord in the middle of the map? No idea. Nobody knows what Soul is up to. It's ridiculous. Tempest vs. Phoenix is a weird interaction, by the way, but DNS is holding much better with Protoss than he did with Terran. Just trying to stay zoomed out because there's a lot to see on the overlay, guys. I can't believe Soul's getting away with this. This is so sick. And when he expands, he'll be able to expand back to his main base. He just built some medivacs and fly over. But yeah, Showtime with the hatchery going down might be the first player like fully eliminated. And if Showtime is eliminated, this makes the game very precarious for first place. However, what's really interesting is Clem's choosing not to finish him off. But his buildings will die from lack of creep. Somebody could come in and pick off both these extractors. And this is where it's important that Showtime can't leave the game, which is unfortunately a bit of a nuisance because it means it's a waste of time for Showtime and I feel bad about it. But this allows them to start tactically deciding when to execute him, right? So now all of a sudden Raynor or Clem, excuse me, not Raynor, Clem or Bly, they might want to defend these last couple of extractors and hold this off as a kill switch. When they find out who's in 7th place, execute him for 6th, and so forth. It does look like Bly just wants to fully kill him though, creating a very terrifying spot now for the first place finisher of this free-for-all. Because regardless of what happens now, he will bleed out, even if this doesn't get fully killed off. So Showtime has been placed in 8th place. As far as, again, guys, I know that they're AIs, they're not real players, but they are just bodies representing people in the match. And frankly, if anyone wants to control the placement of Nurchio or Raynor, I think you try to let the AIs win. I see with a question mark. How's this cooking up in the middle, by the way? 3 battlecruisers deep, not bad. Tempest versus Tempest over here. They're so busy fighting one another that they have no idea about the middle of the map. This is so gross. Clem coming in here with some blue flame in just a second, too. He's going to be able to roast up some of this drone action. And the production tab with 8 people, though. Get off my screen! Yeah, again, December 21st, 22nd, and December 23rd. I really want to hammer that in. We're going to have Candy Cane on the 21st, Gingerbread on the 22nd. Well, actually, that might not be true, because some players have limitations of when they can play, and we'll flip the groups around, possibly, depending. Yeah, hopefully we'll be able to put on a really good show for just before Christmas. And you out there who are like me and have no Christmas plans, you're lonely nerds, can enjoy some StarCraft 2 alongside me. Be some good times. I still can't believe that this is happening. I still can't believe that this is happening. That nobody has scouted this. By the way, I really like the way the Terran AI builds its supply depots. They look like little roadways and pathways. Reminds me about playing Banished, but what I don't like is that production tab. Did 2 in my face. It's too much. You guys are building too many units. It's clogging up my screen. Ugh. This is the only viable free-for-all overlay out there, by the way. And it's by no means bad, but it is the only option. Actually, what are the units? So 5 Tempest, 6 Tempest, and Tempests are still designed to take out massive units, right? So, like, the idea is the Tempest should be able to beat battlecruisers in most situations, but the fact is, battlecruisers can move and shoot now, so I don't know if that'll be the case. By the way, not Raynor over here is pushing into Clem and pushes off an entire expansion from him. Really nice attack over there. FPS is dropping because there's just a lot of stuff building up. The AIs are doing work right now. It's actually kind of crazy how much fighting is going on just because of the 2 AIs. But that's Nerchio versus Raynor for you, or at least their stand-ins. Soul picked up some SCVs. Where's he putting those? Top left? Alright, build a couple command centers. Planetary fortress it up. You got instant reactions here. If someone comes in to attack it, you just teleport in with a battlecruiser. Are those actual players or bots? So these 2 players are bots. These are AIs. Unfortunately, Raynor and Nerchio could not attend the match. This was something that was going to be difficult to do anyways, getting all these guys together last second because our original plans were canceled. So I have said if anyone wants to like nominate a sub in, you can totally do this. So for example, if Nerchio's like, yeah, I want a laser to play for me, could have done that, but no nominations were submitted, so we've just used AIs instead. The idea too is I was going to possibly open it up to viewers, but no one really seemed super interested, so we just kind of left it where it was. And this FPS is going to start dropping just because we got some big armies from a lot of different players right now. And I guess that's part of the battle. That's part of the battle. I'm surprised though. Big teleport from Soul. Oh, the move and shoot with the big thing was they couldn't catch Tempest before. Like, you'd have to Yamato and that was all you could do, but now he's able to cruise around and he's lost 2 of his battlecruisers so far. But uh-oh, here comes the Yamatos. Oh, the FPS is dying, but so are the Tempests. Goblin losing out on everything here. We could have DNS move up and, yep, take advantage of the south side. I don't know if Soul's aware of this, though. Adios. Oh, he's dropping the mules. He probably wishes he had a scan right now instead of mules. DNSing. Adios yourself. But while this goes on, getting triple attack, we got the purple Zerg, a.k.a. Nerchio. Well, AI bot. But AI bot Nerchio comes in with a really big force that looks like it's going to clean up poor Goblin. By the way, all the battlecruisers got annihilated. That's the problem with Tempest. They deal so much damage to air. They're designed to do specifically that. What is the follow-up plan here for Soul? Looks like he just wants to keep building battlecruisers, which don't have a problem with. The terrific units. But he's doing it off of what was one base. Now he's losing out on a lot of this. Gold patches are almost gone. Gases, 4 gases was actually great, but even these are almost mined out, down to like 600 resources apiece. He really needs other bases, so it's a good thing he started expanding up here, because without this base, Soul would be in so much trouble. They lost so much money through those battlecruisers. Killer Adrian's in the same group as Show, I think. I mean, just so you guys are aware, the way the placements work for this are public. And if Bly eliminates somebody next, they will not be in the same group as Showtime. And I'm not going to intervene in all chat to tell them. This is something that Bly may be using as, an excuse to eliminate somebody, right? I don't know. Or maybe he genuinely misunderstands. Either way, just so you guys are aware, Showtime's group will involve the 1st place, the 8th place, which is Showtime, 3rd place, and 6th place. 7th place will go to the other group. So the next player eliminated will not be in Showtime's group. I guess I'm just going to rewrite this reminder in all chat. Reminder in case anyone has forgotten. parent equals Rainer AI under Chio. I did those backwards, but this way, if they want to figure out who they want to eliminate and place them out, yeah. Yeah, it's fine. Just mostly keep it English. This might be the greatest fight of everything that's happened today, by the way. I love that the PC, the AI, is pulling the SCVs to deal with the queen. Attack to the south side. Those got these corruptors getting locked on. Clem's got a pretty fantastic army, but oh my god. These guys need to start eliminating people just so I can start getting some of my frames back. 3 FPS. Yep. Yep. Disqualify Clem for typing in French. Okay, well, looks like Black might get eliminated next. Remember, Black's going to be Rainer. If these guys really want to gamify the groups, I think the best thing you would do is put Rainer up against Showtime right away, but that's a little bit hard to guarantee that this AI gets first place, so leaving it alone. It's a little bit difficult to do. Soul, in the meantime, though, is being a good guy. By eliminating units, he is freeing up some additional frame rate for us to have. This really janky broadcast. Goblin is just kind of stuck. He's really on the trigger point of someone eliminating him and deciding where he places in the groups. I just want to highlight, I never made a rule about having out or even stream cheating. I'm saying this with like a really cheeky grin on my face. This was a big ass fight down here. Clem with so many Vikings should have done so much better, but the Hydras pushed this back. Infested Terrans are too scary. Falling back really is the best course of action. He's got a lot of bases, but unfortunately just not a lot of units, and I think part of this is his production. Mech just is slow. Now, of course, the reason there's no stream cheating rule is because we are using a stream delay, guys, so it's a little bit difficult for them to take advantage of that information. And I've left that there kind of very much on purpose. I'll explain my thoughts on it a little bit later, but okay, he's pretty much mined out in the middle of the map. He's going to have to start ushering some of these SCVs away, like the extractors are expired, the minerals are gone. Soul is eliminating Black, which is Rainer at this rate. Now, of course, for me as the tournament organizer, the best thing he could do is eliminate the AI, because if he eliminates the AI, that puts Rainer in the second group, meaning we won't have Showtime and Rainer eliminated before the grand finals. Well, before the playoffs, at least. Excuse me, the semifinals. Which would be awesome. So I'm kind of rooting on you. Go Soul! Kill Black! Finish him! Yeah, this frame rate is getting ridiculous. Wait. How is he not eliminated? What does he have left? He's got a single refinery. Oh my god. You can't even see it on the mini-map, too. But Soul's heading that direction. Maybe he'll kill it? Come on. There you go. Alright, so that means Rainer is going to be 7th seed. Interesting. This makes things very interesting. Showtime 8, Rainer 7. I got to write this down so I don't forget, too. Otherwise, I'll have to go back through the VOD and redo all this, but... Alright, really interesting. So Showtime and Rainer are in separate groups. Now the big question is who fights who? The next player eliminated 6th place would not be going up against Showtime, but he would be in Showtime's group. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. With the player being eliminated, though, I feel like we got all of our frames back. So much of the armies died. Well, I mean, not all of our frames back, but this is better than, like, the 3 FPS we had before. But yeah, let me talk to you guys about an idea I had for a tournament. I really like free-for-alls. I think they're fun. And the problem is there's not really a lot of incentive. It's not really something super competitive, and it's not got a lot of money to it. So I was thinking about something. I even did the math on this a little bit, right? Let's say you want to award $10 to 8th place, $20 to 7th place, and so forth and so forth. It would cost $360 to host a free-for-all battle, basically, which is very expensive compared to regular tournaments. But I figure, like, with things like the Elite League and other events out there, if people want things to happen bad enough, they'll happen, right? Woo! So, if we were to do 5 free-for-all battles in the course of one day, that would cost $1,800. That'd be a very expensive tournament, but I think it's something that could be fun. But it's also not something I want to start pulling out of our funds for when we have other big tournaments like BTSL Season 3 to plan for and what have you. So my thoughts are this, and this is where I'd love to hear your guys' opinion. Again, whether it's on YouTube in the comments section. And by the way, if you guys don't know, I do read every comment out there. I recently put up some videos specifically based off of some comments we got on previous videos. Whether it's Twitch, whether it's YouTube, my question to you is this. If I put up this tournament in the back, or we put up like a match arena or a fundraising site or something to make a free-for-all tournament happen, and you could just chip in a couple of bucks here and there, but the caveat was we wouldn't make this happen until the funding for it was fully reached, is that something you guys would be interested in? Because for me, it's easy to just put that project on the back burner, have it in the back of my mind type thing. Oh, God. Purple decides to engage on top of a bunch of battle cruisers, all of which had Yamato cannons prepped and ready, so that was a bit of a mistake. Soul, how many? He's a 17 battle cruisers. And what's nuts about this, by the way, is he's going to have anti-armor missile to pair up with this. So each of these attacks, which attacks so bloody quick, is going to be hitting for so much more. I think that as long as he can get the anti-armor off, he can take on any army that's currently in the game. But it will come at a cost. These battle cruisers are not going to live forever. And each of them is so expensive. But right now, Soul, quote-unquote, winning this game, Clem, quote-unquote, winning this game, at least having the most control on the map right now, it's not a good thing, necessarily. Because remember, if you win this free-for-all in first place, you're facing off against Showtime in the round of 8. Oof. I can't believe the middle of the map got taken still. that was a part of this game. Well, our poor Nurchio Zerg looks like he's next on the docket to be eliminated here. Gonna be a little bit tough. Soul ends up splashing a lot of his own battle cruisers with that anti-armor, which is hilarious, but pushing on up, pushing on in. If he kills off Purple, that will put Nurchio in Showtime's group. Again, not against Showtime, but in Showtime's group. He's still expanding. I love how ambitious it is. Yes. I mean, this is why I love Soul. He's a great player, not the smartest, not the brightest bulb in the room. I will protect him. This is what I'm talking about. This is the type of seeding shenanigans I want to see. Like, so he can control when and where Nurchio plays. DNS destroying some base here on the bottom side from Bly. That's a lot of FPS drops, those goddamn interceptors. He says he'll protect him, but then he goes and kills every building, so I'm not sure what Soul's plan with that statement was. What he could use, though, is a top-up. Like, repairs right now would be huge. Storms to the bottom would be nice. But yeah, some of these battlecruisers are so badly injured. Like, what are these scans? Soul, why? I need Soul to repair these. Oh, there we go. So I see these getting pulled. Or are they? Where are they going? I thought he was bringing these to repair. What's he doing? Oh, he's building. He's just gonna build like 100 missile turrets around the extractor. I like the idea. I don't think this will work because all you have to do is bring one fucking ground unit, right? But I love the idea that he could just protect this extractor forever and control when Nurchio dies in this game by building like 100 missile turrets around it. Brilliant. Brilliant. Of course, Purple's not done yet. He's got a lot of static defense left over. But man, I was really hoping those SCVs were going to be repairs. Oh, this is the vengeance of Nurchio, by the way. Nurchio's AI counterpart. Of course, it takes 2 Yamatos to kill a Spore Crawler, folks. It's teleporting a lot of these weak BCs off to the right side. Ooh! All right. He's got this. Meanwhile, to the south, we've had continued fights. So I've been focused on a lot of what Soul's been doing. Clem's been putting up a really big battle against Bly this whole game. Both of them been trading out. It's been mech versus, of course, a lot of Zerg. Brood Lords are a big problem to deal with. Bly's got to be running out of money, though, I'd imagine, right? Yeah, his cash and his gas, non-existent. He lost his base on the right because DNS had killed it. He can't expand left because Clem's denying it. Clem, in the meantime, has other bases he can still expand to. So I think as time goes on, this might go worse for Bly. Clem doesn't even need to take big fights. He just needs to take decent fights. Nope. From abducts. Lifting up the CCs. Can't abduct those. But you can kill them with the Hydras. Fly away! Fly away! Alright, so fake Nurchio has been almost fully eliminated. Oh no, Clem. Oh no, no. Oh no, no. So dumb. No, no. If he turns these into planetaries, I think is his plan, they'll shoot the extractor. What is he doing? Unless if he just makes these all into orbitals for scans, that's fine. That's great. He'll have no problems. But this won't work out the way I think he wants this to work out. All right. Getting back to the bottom side, too. We, of course, have DNS pushing in, eliminating a lot of what Bly has. Bly's been so busy fighting Clem on the left side, so perhaps sandwiched in, perhaps looking to finally die. Remember, we don't have a 6th place player yet. If he turns a single one of these into a planetary fortress, though, then Soul's like the dumbest motherfucker. He is. Soul! No, that's not how this works. You're gonna accidentally kill the extractor. You're so dumb. Okay, you know what the best part of this is? Is gonna be his reaction when he realizes what he's doing. Like, because his only course of action at that point will be make the planetary fortresses attack one another. That way they aren't attacking the extractor. We'll come back to that in a second, guys. Big storms, big attacks, DNS pushing in. Bly doesn't have a lot left. This is literally the end of his life, the end of his army. Okay. He's not even reacting fast enough. He's just built. Oh my god, he's so dumb, Soul. Does he realize he's killed it? I don't know if he's realized he's killed it, is actually the thing. He's so busy focusing on eliminating these hatcheries. Does he know? He's putting more turrets. He's looking over here. Okay, well, even if he doesn't do this to protect something, at the end of the day, he's created this almost impossible base to uproot. And if he can just control this base, he could potentially finish us first place off of survival standards alone. Which would not be a great thing, again, if you're worried about fighting Showtime. But if you're confident fighting Showtime, the first place is what you want. Oh, he's so dumb. He did. Somebody clip that moment. Go back and find when he killed us, and I want to make a highlight of that. Okay, well, Nurchio is still not dead, quote unquote. Well, Nurchio's in the air quotes, not the dead. He has these extra hatcheries. The AI bot has been struggling to survive. It's almost out of cash though, so if anything does get eliminated, then he will actually be knocked out. Oh, that anti-armor. He's not shooting the carriers, though? Huh. I thought as soon as he landed the anti-armor, he just focused on the carriers because he'd one-shot all of them, but he kept fighting the interceptors for quite some time. Oh, wait, Goblin's still in this. I forgot about Goblin. Goblin is still in this. How? I forgot. He's just been in the background this whole time. Okay, so remember, 6th place, the next player eliminated, whether it's Goblin, whether it's fake Nurchio, no matter who it is, 6th place is in Showtime's group, but does not directly play Showtime. I put tons of effort in for Nurchio, but I won't do that again. Oh, the overkill here. Okay. AI, Nurchio's in 6th place. Nurchio 6. Goblin looks like he's on his way to 5. This gets really interesting, guys. This gets really interesting. They should be able to see Goblin, right? He's being revealed in 3 seconds. He doesn't have the money to build another Nexus. It should be a simple trigger. God, I can't put this battlecruiser army though. This is insane. 20 battlecruisers still standing. That's gross. I don't even want to do the math. Is he just gonna go in for the kill? I'll just aim move everyone one by one. That's confidence in playing Protoss right there. All right. I actually gotta start writing 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 on that list. Keep in mind, guys, we are almost getting close to that hard cap. 15 minutes to go. But oh my fuck! Okay, Goblin's eliminated, but those scans. All right, Goblin takes 5. Goblin's gonna be 5th seed. This is the craziest way to do seeding for a tournament, by the way. I know that this is not something we can do for every tournament, but I fucking love when I can do it. Correct. Bless units, so he can't kill his own stuff. I love this because they are going to try and control Bly, I guess. A billion scans coming down. SCVs, not a real fight. Got those BCs just going to wait for this to teleport in, I guess, to some destination. So do we have a full group yet from this? I don't think so, right? Sorry, I'm just going to tab out to my notepad real quick. Yeah, we won't know who's versing who, but we know who's at least in which group so far. So Showtime and Nurchio are in group Candy Cane, and Raynor and Goblin are in group Gingerbread. The question is basically who fights against who. So the next player eliminated would be Goblin's opponent. I think that's why Bly is trying to get eliminated here, because no offense to Goblin, he might be considered one of the easier players in the group. Although Goblin's been performing really well in Wardy's tournament, so I don't know if it's quite the free win that you would want it to be. For Bly, though, some genius plays, because if he does eliminate almost everything, he can bleed out. But looks like DNS is just going to eliminate him, so that's great for Bly. Bly goes out in 5th place, or 4th place, so he'll be going up against Goblin in group Candy Cane. Or, no, group Gingerbread! I gotta remember these group names. Now, I do want to point out, while we are doing seeding this way, there is one exception to how the groups may end up looking at the play dates. Now, player scheduling is a pretty big deal, and sometimes, even if you get the greatest tournament in the world, people can't play on certain days. So what I tend to do in a lot of my tournaments is offer swaps, only if every other player agrees with it, right? So sometimes you'll see players swap matches, and that's because 5 other people had to agree to it first. I'm not saying that will happen. All I know is Showtime, at the moment, is the only player I know of who can't play on the 21st. He has to play on the 22nd. So if nobody else has scheduling issues, for example, we'll just have that whole group play on the 22nd. If it turns out Showtime's the only one, then maybe we swap him for one other player if everyone else agrees. It's a whole thing. I'll worry about that. That's not for you guys. It's a headache, I know. But oh my god, everything is painted orange. But every single battlecruiser is interference matrix. Oh my god, Sol is losing all of his battlecruisers before he even gets a chance to fight. Well, maybe not all of them, but a lot of them go down. Still producing more. Clem's trying to hold on for this. He's at 19 Vikings. If he kites the battlecruisers, he can win this. Sitting there in a dogfight, though, against units with short range. Using units that have long reach. Oh, the teleport! He jumps on top of it! There's nowhere left to run. He's been beaten back to the corner of the map. He's getting killed by DNS while this goes on as well. I mean, he can't even fight the battlecruisers. He could kite, but he's going to end up kiting into DNS at some point. Boys. English. Follow me. Ah! I love watching the death of Clem. This might be the greatest one. Okay, so this gets really interesting. Because remember, there's 3 players remaining. It's, of course, Sol, DNS, and Clem. And it's hard to force your opponent to kill you in some of these situations. He's trying to teleport out, but so much of his battlecruisers are on cooldown still. Although he's killing all the interceptors. Oh my god. The Tempests are the bigger problem here, obviously, but look at those battlecruisers go. Anything comes in range, it's like melted immediately. What are you doing? I'm A-moving you. Well, he does. You know what? He was on A-move. He stops to attack the buildings. He's not even like super chasing the battlecruisers. He is just literally A-moving. Is Sol rich? I guess probably not. They have no clue they built so many planetaries, though. Actually, I truly believe in my heart of hearts, it would take so long to remove Soul from this game that we would actually hit the forced ending of this game. Like, we would hit the 45-minute mark in this game before they could clear out all these buildings. These all have building armor, by the way, so it will take an exceptionally long amount of time to kill every building on the map. We got Blind Twitch saying Goblin 4, me 5. Correct. Yes. The only match we know right now is that Goblin faces off against Bly in the groups. And that's it. We're still waiting to find out who the other 3 players that fight in which direction are. If players can't play on the real date, maybe assign AI again. Oh no. Not when there's actual money on the line. Like, the seeding for the tournament, just to be clear for everybody, there's like no WCS to base this off of. There's no events going on right now. If we were to do this any other way, it would just be going to the random.org list and listing the players' names through there. I think this is a little bit more fun because it does still keep things somewhat random, but also gives a little bit of control. Wait, sorry, what's the question he's asking? Rifkin, can you confirm? I can't do it. Where do I end up? I don't want to answer that. That's public information. But for those who are watching, if DNS wins, he faces off against Showtime. Second place will face off against Raynor. Actually, oh my god! Raynor and Showtime are arguably the 2 players of this tournament you would least want to face off against in the group. So basically, you want to be eliminated. If Clem gets eliminated here... Oh, Clem just broke a rule. Oh, it's a little awkward. But I think he's dead anyways, so I don't think it'll be a problem. But Clem wants to be eliminated at this point, because if Clem's eliminated, which, okay, he was, so that's fine. Last building? Okay. Soul actually killing him saves him from being punished, because leaving the game is against the rules. That being said, though, that puts Clem in spot 3 now. So Clem will not have to face off against Showtime or Raynor. I need to do maths. I don't know what maths he's trying to do here at this point. This is getting really interesting, guys. This is getting really interesting. Junior Hansen, hey, thank you very much for that Twitch Prime sub, 1980. Whoop, whoop. All right, recalls home, teleports away. All kinds of awkward. But it does come down to 2. Oh, this is so interesting. This is so very interesting to me and how this plays out. Because I think, was it third? Clem versus 6. So it's Clem versus Nurchio. It's Goblin versus Bly. And now it's either DNS versus Showtime or DNS versus Raynor. And either Soul versus Showtime or Soul versus Raynor. There's too many. He's still putting more missile turrets. Does Soul know what happens if he wins this game? Does he understand? Does he want to fight Showtime? If he wants to fight Showtime, that's no problem. But I just assume nobody wants to fight Showtime. Showtime is actually like the sickest guy in these groups, to be real. Blizzard ends up with a winner seed-wise? I don't want to answer that. I'm not answering questions about seeding. But he is correct. He would be correct. So here's how this is going to work. Just to be clear, guys, because we made very clear language in rules. You can't leave the game. So if somebody, let's say someone wants to take a dive here. Let's say Soul says, I want to leave so I don't have to fight Showtime. And he leaves without the game finishing out correctly. It will be, what we'll do is we'll allow DNS then to pick the seed spot. Because that's basically what we said. We reserve the right to handle your seeding however we want if you break any of the rules. And one of the big rules we emphasized was no leaving the game. I'll just aim at you. Reminder, if you leave the game before being eliminated, your opponent gets to pick your seed at this point. You fully eliminated Clem, so he was saved that way. If Clem, by the way, had a barracks in the bottom left corner of the map, we would let the winner of this pick his seed. I think, or me. Really, it doesn't matter, because the point is your seed gets forfeited if you break one of the rules. And by the way, this isn't even like our first time. This is I think this is our third ever official free-for-all that's made seeding for a tournament, so. The more we do this, the more we refine the rules and they get better, but 5 minutes to go. Should probably put that too. 5 minutes to go before game force ends. Oh, Soul's going for it. Oh shit. Because where are you going to run? He's going to have to be pushed into the missile turrets. That's a lot of storms, but the storms are hitting his own interceptors probably harder than they are the battle cruisers. Wait, you took such a shitty engagement. What were you expecting? Although, there's like no interceptors. Okay, there's like 5 interceptors left at this point. 19, excuse me. I still don't know if he can kill all this before the game comes to a forced end. Like, the interceptors are gonna die, so the only thing that's really dealing damage is the Tempest, but I guess he's making Void Rays, so maybe it'll end up sooner than that. I don't know. This is so dumb. I love it. I think Soul just wants to win for the bragging rights. Yeah, so that's why with these free-for-alls, I really want to start like incentivizing them in the future, like putting some really sick prize for first place. Because it'll make you reconsider who you eliminate first for 8th if you're gunning for first place, you know? It's a lot of cool tactics that should go into these free-for-all battles that don't, but that's okay. The more we do them, I think the better they'll get over time. If I could recommend you guys, because like I said, this is like our 3rd free-for-all officially, I think. BTSL Season 1, we did that live here in Vancouver. We had a lot of players. There was PT Drogo, DNS was a veteran of that one too. We had Hero, we had Impact. We had a lot of really good players. Jon Snow and some Silky, and I'm trying to remember who the last ones were, but that's up on YouTube, and I would really recommend checking that out because that one had so much drama to it that it was unreal, and so much stupidity that it became so great. So, if you haven't seen BTSL Season 1, like 10 out of 10 recommend checking that out if you enjoyed this. Can I leave? I mean, if he leaves, DNS gets to pick the seed. Oh, that was a mistake, Soul. That was a mistake, Soul. I don't think he understands what just happened. Rifkin's making up the rules as the game goes. No, dude, these have been posted on Discord. All the players are aware of these from beforehand. Cool. My BattleNet is down, I guess. What the front door just happened there? All right. Well, thank you for the resub, Shining7. So the big question of the day then comes down to DNS. My StarCraft died. DNS, you get to pick. Due to Soul's breaking of the rules, you can pick Soul's seed as number 1 or number 2. So, if you guys are unaware of how this works, because again, it's been brought up in chat that I'm making up the rules as we go, I can show you real quick. We have these rules posted from before the games even began. Players knew what was going to happen. They also have a longer version of this in each of their DMs, which also highlighted the fact that, you know, if you broke the rules, your seating would be forfeit and blah, blah, blah. So, like, this is not something where I'm just making it up as we go. The only difference is when I say your seating is forfeit, really what that means is I get to pick. And in this instance, what I'm allowing DNS to do is pick number 1 or number 2 due to Soul's forfeit. All you need to know that number 1 seed fights Showtime, number 2 seed fights Rainer. So you get to pick who Soul fights, who. Because, yeah, that's number 1, number 2. As far as the actual groups, though, I can actually start crafting this together. One sec here. So it's 2 versus 7 is going to be 1 of DNS or Soul versus Raynor. And in that same group, I believe it is Goblin versus Bly. DNS says he'll take Showtime. Oh, shit. So let's go put Soul versus Raynor, which, by the way, that's a great match in my books. And 3 versus 6, which would be Inertio versus Clem. So these are the groups, guys. We have on paper, which is just great. I know a notepad is the most official way to do things here. Beside that. So we've got DNS versus Showtime, Inertio versus Clem. This is such a sick group, actually. And by the way, the other one is super sick, too. Soul versus Raynor and Goblin versus Bly. So for those who are unfamiliar with the player names, or maybe you're a casual viewer, that is Protoss versus Protoss and Zerg versus Terran. Then we have Terran versus Zerg and Protoss versus Zerg. This is actually a great spread of the groups, in my opinion. JPP Oliveira, thank you very much for the 57 months. So to cap off the stream, again, this was going to be a short stream. This went a little bit longer than expected, to be honest. But okay, so we have 2 different groups. Each of these groups is going to play like WCS style, right? So that's going to be 5 best of 5s happening on the 21st, the 22nd, and of course the 23rd. I'm really looking forward to this, guys. The start times, too, I have confirmed at this point. We had to go a little bit earlier to compensate for the longer groups for the European players. I should actually have that. Just give me 1 sec. I think we moved it to 8 a.m. Yes. 8 a.m. Pacific, which let me just go do time zone math here. PST to CET. So 8 a.m., which is 11 a.m. Eastern. So 8 West Coast, 11 East Coast, and 5 p.m. CET on the 21st, 22nd, 23rd. All 3 days in a row. Should be some good games. Thank you guys for joining me on the stream today. Again, I know it was short, sweet, whatever. If you don't know, to finish things off here, Wardy is actually going to be hosting a tournament tomorrow on BaseTradeTV. That'll be happening at about 10 a.m. Pacific. I will not be casting that. Wardy's doing that because I've got a bit of a sponsor deal available for him. And since I wasn't available, we've offered it up to him to take advantage of. So you can look forward to some more StarCraft there. But yeah, I'm going to wrap things up. This tournament, to be clear, at this moment speaking, it's not sponsored. It's not crowdfunded. It's not even coming out of the BaseTradeTV subscriber count. $650. Hopefully we can raise some more. That's just money out of my pocket, guys. I needed something to do for the holidays, and I think this is a great way to do it. Also, I got to say, for an hour streaming free-for-alls, which is kind of nothing content, if we're going to be honest, 500 viewers at the end, not too shabby. Thank you guys so much for turning up and turning out. But before we disappear, let's take our crowd of people, and let's go find somebody who is not the top of the StarCraft streamers, not somebody who I'm really great friends with, and let's try and give somebody some love. Speaking of which, Maja just subscribed 24 months in a row. Hello and thank you. All right. Oh, you know what? We got to host him. Silky's a really good player. If you guys missed BTSL, or excuse me, Ting North America, great games over there. He's got 1 person tuned into his stream. I'm the only person watching his stream right now. I'm going to spam this shit in Twitch chat. We're going to give him a raid. Guys, go say hi to Silky. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you guys on the 21st.